Bruh, what did you say about funk, bruh? I'm gonna have to teach you a lesson with some moves I learned at anime high school. Transforms into PACKGOD. Shut your Google Chrome Dome home up, bruh. You look like the guy from Roblox. You appear to share characteristics with the Fortnite person. You somewhat bear resemblance to a character relating to the hit video game Minecraft. Da 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 PACKGOD.
That's an awfully hot coffee pot. PACKGOD is a YouTuber with a combined total of nearly 6 million subscribers and no lasting impact on internet culture apart from post-ironic mocking. He is a 5'1" white rapper, and I mean that in the negative connotation, who rose to fame through the extremely epic, definitely not cringe art of Discord packing. Since you're more than likely over the age of 12, this term might seem quite alien to you, so let me put it in a way an adult can understand. If we look up the Flazepedia definition, packing, or to be packed, is the act of 2 or more unemployed people joining a Discord call and screaming insults they just heard at the playground during recess at each other in order to see who is the best packer. And the answer is me. I can fit a lot of things in my bum. It's just roasting. The Zoomers have invented a new word for roast battles. Keemstar was doing it on Blog TV nearly a decade ago. It was embarrassing back then, it's super embarrassing now, because it's all facilitated through the Valorant e-dating app. If you get roasted epic enough, it spam ats everyone in your server with the Wumpus rope gif. And PACKGOD is the self-proclaimed god of the activity, using his ability to say vaguely insult-sounding sentences to amass an army of children that view him as a messiah of Sigma, a saint of slander, a PACKGOD. But to everyone else, he is extremely corny. He really should be called PACKGOD. If you, for some reason, have the misfortune of clicking on any video from one of his 4 channels, you will be overcome with an indescribable sense of cringe. Because they all have the exact same vibe as walking into a middle school with the loud, unfunny sound effects, constant yelling, and seizure-inducing visuals. There is something to be said about bombastic, frenetic editing. As you've probably seen, I'm quite a fan of it, but there's a very fine balance between being engaging and headache-inducing. I also find it really funny that over on his Roblox channel PackBlocks, which is super cool and epic to have, it appears that in his channel art, he is calling out another Roblox channel, LankyBox.
Help! Gagagagadagadao! Trapped us in there! Gagagagadagadao! Prison in Roblox! Gagagagadagadao!
Almost as if PACKGOD sees himself as above them when they make scarily similar content for extremely similar audiences.
Yo, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video of PackBlocks, and today we're going to be doing
forbidden Roblox games, and they're so scary, guys. In this new Fortnite Star Wars update, we unlock the ultra rare red lightsaber item and have to use it to get a
Fortnite dance music.
Been lonely, I've been down, I've been hurting badly. Suddenly, boss baby,
But they gon' try me, just like if my mama smack you when they hide me. Eating giant pickles, man, it's me like a dice. See your videos, I'm praying, I think I was the better call Mr. Beast.
The only difference is that PACKGOD fans are in the 7th grade, LankyBox fans are in the 6th grade. But what the editing is really good at, apart from overloading my brain with iFunny humor, is disguising the fact that what you're really seeing when you consume content from the PACKGOD channel is a recording of a Discord call. And when you cut out the aids, it is extremely awkward.
Are you barking? Are you barking? No, you wanna get loud in this song? Boy, you like a velociraptor in a toilet bowl. Yo, Autumn, stop barking. Just stand there with your mouth down. Boy, you like a velociraptor in a clogged toilet bowl. Boy, you like an off-brand Ben 10 character. Now you ain't Ben 10, you Steven 9. Get your on. Boy, you like you got expelled from barking at your lunch lady. Shut your ass up. Boy, you ain't from Jurassic Park. You came from the prehistoric playground.
The edits are also very handy at selling the illusion that PACKGOD is the ultimate badass who is brutally and epically tearing down anyone he roasts by covering up their lack of reaction. Most of their reactions, from what you can glean through the barrage of bruh sound effects and PACKGOD's Packsona moving like the Incredible Gassy, is what I can only assume to be extreme confusion. They are not shocked into silence by his packing prowess. They are in a confused daze trying to piece together a single sentence as their brain is assaulted by a live feed of our dank memes.
Justin Bieber fused with a geometry dash square. To the modern personification of bling bling boy from Johnny Test. Hey yo, Blizzy, put your hands down. You look like a Reddit upvote.
PACKGOD's roasts are abysmal dog shit. They start off with basic insults about his opponent's appearance, or possibly their actions if they're a notorious enough figure, and then devolve into Mad Lib's nonsense extremely quickly.
Shut your ass up, don't talk, boy. But if you don't get your watch me whip, watch me nay nay, I got you running like take care your grandma gave bling bling boy a dance for payday.
And they are said with such speed and rhyme that it may trick you into thinking they're clever, but if you reduce the volume and lower the frequency of his banshee shrieking about 10,000%, you will discover bars ripped directly from a 100 epic roasts that'll make you the coolest friend in the group chat book. Hey Packers, today I thought we'd talk about Brapog and some of his stinky lines. From PACKGOD vs Discord Furry, we have the incredible "Stop playing with me boy. You sexually identify as an unsolved Rubik's Cube. You made an NFT of your grandma twerking on a pickle. You tried turning your dishwasher into a Bitcoin mining rig." First off, a solved Rubik's Cube is much closer to an actual rainbow than an unsolved one. So although the sexually identifying as a random object joke isn't funny, and never has been, it would be more color theory accurate. Now as far as the NFT bar, it would be much more impactful if you compared the furry's likeness to that of an actual NFT, because, as we know, NFTs are hot doo-doo feces, and the furry is wearing a licensed Jurassic Park dinosaur mask, an easily interchangeable waste of carbon that is cheap garbage. Also like an NFT. Therefore, the burn would be more impactful using a direct comparison rather than the random nonsense you decided to go with. And the Bitcoin dishwashing line is really fucking stupid all around, and there's no fixing it other than you sitting down and contemplating if this is the legacy you want to leave behind on this earth. Another example of some bars that are straight gas, in the brappy way, are from the PACKGOD vs OnlyFans girl video. Your parents got divorced, call that Clash of Clans. You got the IQ of a K-pop Twitter stan. You got two titties on you. Pinhead Larry and Dirty Dan. As you can see by the title, she has an OnlyFans, which means her parents are no longer together. And that's a very original insult that's definitely not played out at all. And comparing the divorce to Clash of Clans is very clever because, as we know, marriage is a game we all play, and when you lose, your wife takes the kids. I'm just kidding. You made the comparison because clans rhymes with fans, and it's a reference that will make the kids watching go, I know that thing! Now I have to give it to Shat Bob. The line about the K-pop fan IQ is scientifically accurate. Yeah, his logic is sound. If he's attempting to call the girl an ignoramus, comparing her IQ to that of a K-pop fan is a solid route to take. However, given that it has no relation to the girl or the lines that come before or after, I'm gonna have to hook him up to the electric nipple clamps. Now pointing out that she has, quote unquote, two titties on you is a very epic burn. I don't know about you guys, but if you paid attention in biology class, it turns out that most Homo sapiens do in fact have two mammary glands. Very astute observation, PACKGOD. Good job pointing out that factoid. And he compares them being her titties, that we have established she does have, to the SpongeBob characters Pinhead Larry and Dirty Dan. Because, once again, it's a reference that the toddlers watching will lose their minds over. And lastly, we have a certified masterpiece in lyricism from the PACKGOD vs Satanic e-girl video. Oh my god. You better get your domain expansion. The devil's booty hole looking ass the fuck back. Tell me why I caught you in the TikTok Riz party throwing it back on Turkish Quandale Dingle for 15 Robux. A true work of art. There's nothing to say except... Anyway, that's all I have for today. Until next time, I'm Flazanella, and I have AIDS. If you look at who PACKGOD chooses to target for his roasts, you will begin to notice a trend. He is extremely skilled in the martial art of... punching down. Nearly every packing video is him going after someone with a much smaller audience or are already an easy target. It is extremely easy to come up with insults for women. They don't even need to be good, they just need to be directed towards women. And the Sigma red pill toddlers will go, W's! PACKGOD W! L women! And the numbers agree with me, because if we look at PACKGOD's most popular videos, there is a lot of boobies. When he's not quoting incel manifestos, he loves to berate furries, TikTokers who are kind of annoying, and anyone under the age of 18. Extremely low-hanging fruit, But PACKGOD is an impeccable farmer. Every once in a while, he will attempt to pack someone that might be considered an appropriate target. And for some reason, PACKGOD and Pack fans think that this did or meant anything.
You would have push up arm, put extensions in your hair, and you just got divorced by a dude who was built like a pear.
Hey yo, EDP, I ridicle pants. Tell me why your ears are in the nether, your eyebrows are on max brightness, and your neck is an incognito mode.
Pillsbury, Doughboy, Clash of Clans, Builder, Bob the Builder off a Percocet looking at motherfucker. Tell me why I got you butt naked, stand in front of a mirror going feed, 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 feed. You just got put in a pack. You can never go outside and show your face again. Brother, this is embarrassing.
That was actually one of the worst violations ever. That was awful. Oh my God, how are you gonna let me say that about you and just say nothing?
Wow. You sure packed them real good. They really seem shaken up by this one. It really does nothing but give these pieces of shit a platform. PACKGOD versus EDP is cringe. PACKGOD versus Sniper Wolf is just sad. She's not even in the call. You're just LARPing.
If you want to show me that you're sorry, and this goes to anybody, make a good change in your life. Seriously, make a good change in your life. But unfortunately, until that day occurs,
and PACKGOD versus Jack Doherty is just disappointing because the actual interview section is really interesting. It's really nifty to see this piece of human garbage cope and seethe when valid criticisms are brought up against him.
I think that it would be unwise to promote gambling and OnlyFans.
Bro, I
to
haven't
kids.
even gotten a penny from this gambling deal yet, dog. Why are we still on this topic?
However, all of that is thrown in the trash the second PACKGOD devolves into his unhinged Reddit ramblings.
You built like a stick of peanut brittle. Your girlfriend's love for you is artificial. To looking like Ralphie off the Magic School Bus, and I'm gonna school you like Mrs. Frizzle.
I will be taking back my respect, thank you. To PACKGOD, reputation matters most above all else. His reputation in the eyes of children, mind you.
Why do you think that is bad?
Because I don't care.
Which is fickle and fleeting, because you are only as good as your most recent win. There is a level of obsession with constantly taking the W, not just for Pack's ego, but his entire brand. Where was I going with this? Oh yeah, reality. What is it? And more importantly, are PACKGOD's videos real? Well, after all of my research, I have determined that yes, PACKGOD's videos are fake. Kinda. It's complicated. Because they're fake in the way that professional wrestling is fake, which is to say that the fight is prearranged and the moves are all scripted and the winner is already decided. If you look in the description of any of his packing videos, you may come across a small line buried right at the bottom that says, "This is not real bullying. This is made for entertainment purposes only," which is code for this video is fake, which implies that the rest of his videos without this little disclaimer are actual bullying and not for entertainment. They are very serious. But this rule is incredibly inconsistent, because there are quite a few without this little disclaimer that are clearly prearranged setups. PACKGOD versus Emo Girl promoting their Instagrams. PACKGOD versus Emo Girl 2 promoting their e-dating Discord. PACKGOD versus Cosplaying E-Girl promoting their TikTok. Her Mom Walked In promoting her YouTube. PACKGOD versus Omegle Furry promoting his TikTok. PACKGOD versus Furry Discord promoting every single furry's TikTok. PACKGOD versus Discord Mod and Discord Mod Tries to Sue Me both feature the same woman whose TikTok PACKGOD promotes in both videos. In PACKGOD vs. Discord Furry, he really wants you to know that this is not real bullying and for entertainment purposes only, because he says it 3 separate times in the description, along with promoting the furry's TikTok. And I can only assume that is because there is a recording of the unedited Discord call in which PACKGOD is directing the furry in a way to make him look as bad as possible.
So basically, I'm gonna start just roasting Jacob, that you slide in, right? And then I'm gonna start talking to you and be like, bro, that shit is not happening. And you start, and then while I'm saying, bro, there's no way. Then you start barking, right? And then I'm gonna get louder, and then you keep barking. You get it?
Got it.
So we can only assume that A, he is sending his army of rabid 12-year-olds to harass these random people, or B, it is staged and his victims are using this as a way of self-promoting. Either way, it's incredibly embarrassing. No, Pack, you did not just find their social media. They told it to you. But then this may lead you to ask, why? What is the purpose in staging a roasting video? It's all about perception. The audience he has cultivated is ravenous and toxic, and they demand this type of content. But if it were real, the victim would leave the call because they have better things to do. It's all elaborate theater designed to sell the illusion that PACKGOD is a threatening force that you should not mess with. And if you watch him, by extension, you are just as cool and epic as he is. In his videos, he likes to give an introduction to set himself up as a shadowy figure, waiting to enact his pack justice on anyone that dare challenge his abilities.
Basically, one day I was just reading through the comments on the channel until I came across this one really aggressive hate comment that had said, "This guy's content is beyond cringe and anybody who watches him is a low-life, obese, sexist virgin." Now, normally I would just ignore these things, but y'all know I'm not about to just sit here and let somebody disrespect you guys like that.
He cannot let any amount of insult slide.
Basically, as you may know, a while back I had roasted this one emo-looking girl on my channel, and since then, you know, I kind of forgot about her. A couple months go by, but then recently a friend had sent me a screen recording of her actually talking me on her Instagram live.
He will have you think that there are people randomly sitting in a call talking shit.
Water Sugar gonna come in my server, trash talk me behind my back, and then when I join, she gonna say one thing about my mom and dip out. Now, I could have just kept going on with my day, but she wanted to make it personal, so I had to get revenge.
And he will join, pack up their entire bloodline with random nonsense.
So I looked into this guy's account, and this dude has literally made dozens of videos talking about me on his TikTok, basically saying that I'm his bitch.
And leave their reputation and self-esteem utterly destroyed. And I think that's false. In an attempt to prove myself wrong, I joined PACKGOD's Discord, sat myself in a call, and issued a public challenge.
I want you, but not in a weird way. But I need you, PACKGOD. I need you here right now.
To give him ample time to respond, I waited an hour and a half, and just in case he didn't get my first message, I spammed him the entire time. PACKGOD. PACKGOD, please come pack me. Now, given that he has no problem punching down, I assumed that he would immediately join and begin the dissection of my entire existence. This did not happen. He didn't show up. For an hour and a half, I was stuck playing Five Nights at Freddy's with PACKGOD fans, but instead of trying to not die against a sexy fox robot, I was trying to stop 12-year-olds from saying the N-word on my live stream.
We are simply here as Pack disciples. And as you can see, we had the funniest PACKGOD fan join.
No, unlike his videos may claim, he is not packing random people that call him out. PACKGOD is not packing anyone without first having all the advantages. He is the one that chooses the targets. When he hops on Omegle and roasts random people, they aren't prepared for it. He makes diss tracks on people that don't know he exists. When he harasses people on Discord, they already know it's coming because he's asked them to do it.
Autumn, wait, Autumn, let's just end the video. Autumn, just start be like, fuck this shit, and then just dip out the VC or something. I don't know.
This shit, bro.
Bro, he lived! Oh my god, he lived!
And yet somehow, he still legitimately sees himself as an epic Sigma. His entire persona is that of an anime man with red glowing eyes and flames all around him, shrouded in darkness. Which I find to be extremely ironic, considering the character he uses to represent himself is that of King from One Punch Man. A character that in the story, everyone thinks is really cool and awesome, but in reality, is a total fraud.
I'm just an unemployed 29-year-old otaku loser!
You cannot portray yourself as a Sigma Fonk, untouchable rap god, while at the same time producing rap songs sponsored by Opera GX. Your forefathers look upon your actions and feel no rage, no sadness, only shame. If all it takes to have you breaking from your pack-sona is to be called 5'1" by a 40-year-old degenerate.
Alright, PACKGOD?
Yo, what's going on, guys? PACKGOD, or people also know me as Derek Whitehead. Point guard for Duke, 6'9", and I could dunk on low tier guy because he's my little bitch.
I heard you were 5'1", bro.
I don't know where you got that information from, but I think you're horribly mistaken.
Somebody said he was 5'1". Is that true?
No, I already told you how tall I am, bro.
Let me look this dude up.
All right, bro, chill with the me running, yo. Like, let's just get into it, all right?
You lose any and all aura you pretend to have. PACKGOD may see himself as a god of roasting, but I see through you. You are god to nothing but middle schoolers. You are the lord of corny.
I shit it in my pants. I am for real. I
think you should join my Discord too. My pants are filled with some stinky poo. I shit it in my pants. I am for real. You should also follow my Twitter. My pants are filled with so much shitter.